video is going to show how to replace the upper and lower rear bumper fascia on a Jeep Grand Cherokee L after we got rear-ended about a year ago. Tools you'll need for this, pretty simple: 8mm socket, 10mm socket, and a T27 torque bit. Just getting started here, just getting the wheel well liners taken out. It's easier if you go all the way up, just taking out the 4 on either side. This is underneath the bumper itself, just pretty much smack dab in the middle. There's 2 on either side of the rear tire, holding the lower part of the bumper. Just getting back underneath the tail lights, just pop that little clip out. Across the rim there. Alright, this is where you need the T27 bit. And if there's only one of those screws holding in the taillight assembly, and then you just gotta kind of finagle it out and pull it at an angle straight back to get that taillight out. Once you get that taillight out, there's just one clip. My wiring looks a little bit different because I have wiring for the trailer wiring that I installed. And then you got to remove that little cap right there, pretty simple. And then this is where you'll use your 10mm socket for the first time. And I forgot to add on the wheel well liners, that'll be an 8mm socket. Alright, so everything I did on the passenger side, now doing on the driver's side. So just remembering that little cap there, and taking off the wiring harness, or the taillight from the wiring harness, just to get it out of the way. Alright, now slowly just popping out that fender flare, pretty easy. And if you guys can see that 10mm bolt, that's the only bolt on the either side that is holding up the upper and lower part of the upper fascia. Doing the other thing on this side, it's easier just to pull that fender flare back as far as you can, and then get a 10mm socket in there to loosen it up, and then just hand take off that bolt holding that in. And it's just a lot of little clips and snaps that you just got to pull out and work your way. Don't be scared to rough handle it just a little bit. Obviously don't want to pull too hard. There are 2 plugs for all of the wiring that goes to the bumper. You can see me unhooking them there. There's one on either side. Mine was a little bit more because from the last time I did this, I had to zip tie one of them together, so I had to clip that. Getting the heat shield taken off here on the old lower fascia. Just make sure you keep those clips that you will pull out of the older fascia, because the new one does not come with any of those. I had to cut 2 of them out because I accidentally pushed them in a little too far. But again, make sure you keep all of the clips, every one of them that comes off of the old fascia, because the new one does not come with any. After I get them installed, just reinstalling the heat shield on either side. Taking off the old one, and you'll see throughout the video of all the old parts that I take off of the old fascia and reinstall into the new one. You can order new ones if you would like, but I'm obviously not doing that. Heat shielding onto the other side here. Alright, these are 3 screws. They're on either side. They're holding the upper fascia to the lower fascia. Once you get these 3 screws out on either side, it's just a lot of snaps that you got to remove, as well as this wiring harness here. And you just pull, and those little pins will come out. And just slowly working my way around the upper and lower, just trying to remove all those snaps. Getting out the rear deflectors. There's no electrical wiring going to them, it's just 2 screws and it'll pop out. Getting the chrome pieces pulled out here. There's a better view of those little snaps that you need to keep and put into the new rear lower fascia, and those will be used to attach the lower and the upper fascia together. As you can see, I'm reinstalling those. Again, if you don't keep these, you'll have to buy new ones. Video from the other side of taking those out. And reinstalling the new ones, or onto the new part. Getting those reflectors put back in, as well as the chrome and the other pieces, which is just plug and play, little snaps. And I like to clean as I go, just because you're getting to spots you'll never get to again unless you take this apart again. Bumper back together. And this is where I just snapped all the pieces slowly back together and then got in those 3 screws on either side. And getting the bumper back on. I just like to hold it up on either side by 1 clip. Alright, I wanted to show this one. Something I learned last time with this bumper off when I was putting the trailer hitch receiver in is leave the bumper loose until you get the wiring connections for the lights hooked up. Because otherwise you're trying to reach in there from underneath and it's impossible. And I broke the latch doing it last time. So I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to kind of show a little bit better. So this right here is the bolt, the eyelet where it connects to the top of the bumper. And then as you can see, obviously I can see better, but so that's the bottom connector and then the top connector right here. So I like to leave it disconnected, and then I put a zip tie on this one because when I did it last time I broke the latch, so I had to zip tie it. But if you do what I'm doing now, it'll save you a lot of headache and probably a broken latch. Alright, another thing that makes this really easy is there's a tab right here that goes into a slot on the fascia here. So it's easier to take that off completely out. It takes 2 seconds to take out and then slide it into this. On the back side of this, you'll know what I'm talking about if you're trying to do it. It slides in and then just push everything back up. So I'll do that now just to show it. Alright, you can see it. Those little teeth right there kind of grab the back of the metal, sit in, so, but you gotta slide this in to the back here. I'm not left-handed, so everything's harder on this side. Dropped it. Alright, slides in there, and then just push everything back in. Bringing the wheel well liner back through. Alright guys, just want to show a quick comparison. So as you can see, from us getting rear-ended. It completely bent all this in, broke this, broke a lot of stuff. There's some other pieces that got broken. That pretty much got crushed in the bumper cover, or the hitch cover. This side wasn't too bad, but this thing got beat up pretty good, which is funny. I feel like it took the blunt of the rear end collision as well as the trailer hitch. So it took forever to get this part in from Mopar. Is what it is. Went through 2 other parts that were incorrect. One was for a Summit, which they have a different fascia because the exhaust ports are ported out through the fascia itself. And then the other one they ordered was the full upper fascia. So these, obviously, as you saw, these are 2 different parts, but it's kind of nice because to get this one off, you got to get that one off. So you get to see both. So if you need one or the other, this video will definitely help you out. Another thing we got to do now is paint touch up right here and here, but those I can do. And like this one, actually, it's indented, so I might have to put some Bondo on it, but and it might be a little too deep to buff out, but I'll probably just paint pin these because I don't feel like getting out my gun and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I answered all your questions. If I did not, please leave any comments or questions in the comment section and I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching.